What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be breaking down what appears to be a major turning point in the 7 Deadly Sins story. Unless we get trolled again. But to be specific, in this video I will discuss what appears to be the end of the Holy War and the final defeat of a major villain following a truly epic battle that included important contributions from all 7 sins. But if you think the story might be over, not so fast. Stick around until the end of the video where I will talk about what I think will happen next and why I don't think that the story is over just yet. If you enjoyed the 7 Deadly Sins content on this channel and you want to see more, please leave a like to let me know, it really does help. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You probably know that YouTube notifications often don't work, so the best way to get notified for sure is to click the bell and click off the option to receive all notifications. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest news and updates about the 7 Deadly Sins, including news about the latest season of the anime. Heads up, this video will of course include manga spoilers because we're talking about the latest developments in the 7 Deadly Sins story, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. Chapter 331 starts off with all 7 sins charging at the Demon King's latest form, the Cthulhu Demon King. The Demon King hits back at them with an attack which traps all the sins inside a large orb of darkness. The Demon King tells the sins to get crushed out of existence because insignificant insects like them don't stand a chance against a mountain. And to be fair, the Demon King's new form is literally as big as a mountain at this point, so this time at least he is not exaggerating. But the sins begin to resist the power of the orb. We see Merlin reciting spells in her strange, incomprehensible language. We see Ultimate Escanor fighting back. We see Bon, King, and everyone else pushing back against the power of the orb. The Demon King says that he will put an end to the Holy War by using all of the life forms within this land as his vessel. But the sins refuse to accept defeat. Diane, King, everyone is determined to fight back and stop the Demon King from destroying the life forms of Britannia. Merlin then manages to break the hold of the Dark Orb by using a spell that is apparently called Limit Breaker, and all the sins are suddenly freed. The Demon King shouts at Merlin, saying that Belialuin's daughter is a deceitful wench who tricked him back then, and now she's trying to foil his plans yet again. This is a reference to the previous Holy War, when a young Merlin tricked both the Demon King and the Supreme Deity. She lied to both of them, saying that she will join their side in the Holy War if they give her secret magical knowledge. Both of them agreed and gave Merlin the secrets that she wanted, but instead of joining either side, Merlin simply bailed on both of them and kept all the knowledge for herself. The Demon King and the Supreme Deity were furious, and they destroyed all of Belialuin, the capital of the wizards, and Merlin's hometown, but Merlin survived. Back in the present time, all the sins rushed the Demon King and launched their own special attacks in his direction. The Demon King tries to use the ruler to turn the attacks to his advantage, but Gother's ability called Kill Switch is able to negate the Demon King's magical abilities, nullifying the effects of the ruler. Kudos to Gother for finding a way to be useful again, even though in terms of raw power, he can't even compare to the Demon King and the rest of the main cast. The Demon King then generates another massive dark orb and tries to use it as a barrier. But all the attacks of the sins, which combined into a single powerful fireball, break through the orb and continue their path in the direction of the Demon King. In a last-ditch desperate effort, the Demon King tries to appeal to the sympathy of his sons, Meliodas and Zeldris. He calls out and asks them whether they are really going to kill their own father, and Meliodas suddenly, bafflingly, steps up in front of the fireball and uses full counter in order to hit it away from the Demon King. But instead of being grateful, the Demon King immediately uses this opportunity to attack Meliodas from behind, even though Meliodas just saved his life. However, Meliodas is not that naive, and the Demon King realizes when he attacks Meliodas that this was not the real Meliodas, but rather a mirage. Since Meliodas is using Lost Vein, it's safe to assume that this was just one of the clones that he can generate using that sword. And now it makes sense why Elizabeth made a point of returning Lost Vein to Meliodas before the beginning of this fight. Meliodas says to the Demon King that he tried to give him one last chance, he tried to show him mercy and then see what the Demon King would do with that mercy. But the Demon King just attacked Meliodas from behind immediately after Meliodas saved his life, and now there is no doubt whatsoever that the Demon King is ruthless and evil beyond salvation. And this means that the Demon King does not deserve any mercy. Meliodas then uses the rest of his clones to keep full countering the massive fireball over and over again, and every time he does this, the power of the fireball is doubled. The Demon King tells Meliodas to stop because he won't survive getting hit by that attack. But Meliodas has no more doubt about what must be done. He says goodbye to his father, and the Demon King is destroyed by this massive 7 Deadly Sins combo move. On the final page, an aged and defeated Demon King says to Meliodas that he will regret this because the cycle of light and darkness is never ending, and he is sure that Meliodas is aware of that. Meliodas responds by saying that of course he knows, and the text on the final page proclaims that the Order of Darkness has fallen and the Holy War has concluded. First of all, I have to say that I am not surprised by how the Demon King was defeated. In a previous video, and honestly I forget which one exactly, I said that I think he will ultimately be defeated with all 7 sins working together and creating an epic combo move like the one in the Prisoners of the Sky movie. I just thought that this would be a more satisfying conclusion to the fight than just having one person, say Meliodas or Escanor, finishing off the Demon King on his own. After all, this is the 7 Deadly Sins, and even though we know that at this point some sins are much stronger than others, sorry Deanne, it makes sense for Nakaba Suzuki to ensure that every sin plays an important role in ultimately defeating a major boss like the Demon King. So that's it, right everybody? I mean, it's said that the Holy War is over, so it must mean that it's really over. They all lived happily ever after. Epilogue time! Seriously though, the final page and the words that the Demon King says to Meliodas represent an important clue, in my opinion. The Demon King said that the cycle of light and darkness is never ending, and Meliodas has confirmed that he knows this. Then the chapter tells us that the Holy War is over because the darkness has been defeated. But this is a cycle of light and darkness, so what about the light? Sure, we can say that the Holy War itself is over because that was a conflict driven by 2 sides. And the driving force behind one of the sides, the Demon King, has apparently been defeated. But there is of course another major figure that has been driving this conflict, another divine and extremely powerful creature, and that is Elizabeth's mother, the Supreme Deity. The Holy War as we know it might be over, but this story is not over. It is very possible that now that the Demon King has been defeated, the Supreme Deity will feel emboldened to make her move and finally emerge from the celestial realm. Also, now that the Demon King is gone, Meliodas is going to be considered his successor, and eliminating the successor of the Demon King could easily be the first thing on the Supreme Deity's mind right about now. I don't think it was a coincidence or meaningless that in the previous chapter we saw Hawk and the Mother of Chaos approaching the battlefield. I don't think that all the foreshadowing about King Arthur was a coincidence. The Demon King might be defeated, but the story is still not over because from a narrative perspective, there is still so much that needs to be resolved. There are various translations out there, but according to some translations, the next chapter, chapter 332, will be called Requital. The definition of requital is something given in return, compensation, or retaliation. Also, one of the definitions of requiting is avenging. This does not sound like the title of a chapter that is going to feature everyone just going back to their lives and living happily ever after. Instead, to me it sounds like some new complications may arise. Realistically, the only big unresolved question still remaining in the series is of course the Supreme Deity. She is a crucial part of the story, the mother of Elizabeth, and a key component of that never-ending cycle of light and darkness that the Demon King mentioned. I've said this many times before, but I think that the only satisfying ending for the 7 Deadly Sins will be for Meliodas and Elizabeth to replace their parents as the new leaders of the Demon and the Goddess clans. If they are leading their clans which have been at war for thousands of years, and yet the 2 of them are together and love each other, they will serve as undeniable proof that peace and coexistence between the 2 clans is possible. The only way that the cycle of light and darkness will stop leading to constant war and destruction is if the people who lead the light and the darkness are Elizabeth and Meliodas, 2 individuals who reject war and hatred because they love each other despite the fact that they come from rival clans. After defeating the Demon King, Meliodas could easily succeed his father as the new Demon King. But for Elizabeth to become the leader of the goddesses, she must first face off against her mother, the supreme deity. Now, maybe I'm wrong and Meliodas will not become the next Demon King. We all know that he never wanted to be the Demon King, and maybe Zeldris will replace their father instead. After all, Zeldris did want to become the Demon King so that he could rule in a more just and fair way than his father. But whoever ends up becoming the next Demon King, the fact remains that the Supreme Deity is still a massive unresolved plot point. And I really don't see how the story could be completed without an appearance from the ruler of the goddesses. But let me know what you guys think. Is the Holy War really over and has the Demon King been defeated for good? This is like the third or fourth time that he has been quote unquote defeated so far. Since he keeps just changing his vessels, at this point I wouldn't be surprised if he starts using Nakaba Suzuki's body to write Meliodas and Zeldris out of the story altogether. But beyond the Demon King, what do you think the future will bring? Are we finally going to see the Supreme Deity make her move? Personally, I think we have to see something happen with her before the story ends. It just wouldn't make much sense otherwise, but that is my opinion. Feel free to share your opinion down in the comments below. Whenever we have such watershed moments in the manga, I always love to get a good conversation going down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more 7 Deadly Sins content right here on the channel, please leave a like to let me know, it really does help. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest 7 Deadly Sins news and updates. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. Special thank you to all of our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Angel Cruz, Steelers, Poet Pablo, Atropos Wraith, Viridala Beat, Ekarot GN, Anatoly Kazatsky, DJ Nathaniel, and Alpha Dio. And I can't forget the ones that rise above all other clans. A massive thank you to all of our The One tier patrons, including Ingrata, Alolanatum, Matty Mac, Makota-kun, and ya boy Seth. If you enjoy our videos and you think that they add some value to your life, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.